It recognizes our belief in God, our country, not just individuals, our country, our founding fathers codified this in the documents that founded this country. Our reliance, our belief in God, and our reliance upon God. Of that, there's just no debate on that. You may like it, may not like it. Declaration of Independence, we find these truths to be self-evident, that we are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, of which are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. It goes on in the Constitution to say we are putting together this Constitution in a preamble to secure the blessings, not only for ourselves, for posterity. And that Constitution followed with a Bill of Rights that enumerated those godly rights given to man, including the very first one, which was a right to believe in God and to express that belief anytime, anywhere, including the public square.
33 million. It's proven to the money investors that people want something to feed their souls, not just their worst desires.
Absolutely.
And
yes, indeed.
This kind of sums up my entire dialogue career on the heat of the night. You ready for this? Okay, this is it. My 7 years on the heat of the night. My dialogue all summarized into this. Get right on it, Chief.
Captain Skinner, but Bubba's my name. I like my iced tea sweet and my women the same. I'm your brown-haired badge here in little old Sparta, but nobody's bigger or tougher or smarter. If you're looking to fight, best not be with me. Gonna be held tight, well now we'll just see. You never know in the heat of the night on TNT.
Heat of the night on TNT.
Now I don't put on any airs, but then I ain't no slob. Just a redneck boy with a blue-collar job. The ladies I date, they gonna have 'em some fun, 'cause I'm a big hunk of crime-fighting son of a gun. So if you're looking to fight, come on up in the ring. You wanna be held tight, just about anything can happen in the heat of the night on TNT.
Hubba, 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 hubba. Heat of the night on TNT.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I don't want anybody in there telling my 5-6-year-old when I was raising them whether they should be married at all. Whether it's traditional marriage or not. That's not the place of a school. That's not their responsibility. That's a parental issue, 100%. So I understand taking a stand on that and being mandated in our public institutions to accept the, what do you want to call it, ideology, the belief, the behaviors, whatever, of the LGBTQ community. And I hate saying the whole community because there's a lot of folks in that community that actually don't believe in gay marriage. I know many of them. They were just fine with civil unions to this day. So you can't label the whole LGBTQ community with a broad stroke either. So I understand as Christians making a stand in teaching our children. They're to be taught in school the basics, math, science, history, join the drama club, athletic teams, and none of this engineering, moral engineering. But let's go to this incident, this tragedy in Colorado Springs. These were people out participating in what they like to do. Whether you agree with it or not, they're out there not bothering anybody. They're not partying in my backyard, your backyard. They're just doing what they want to do in this little nightclub in Colorado Springs. And this man comes in and senselessly mows them down, kills 5, 25 injured. I think 2 or 3 are still fighting for their lives. We don't know, again, the motive. Obviously, mental illness is involved here. But here's my point. You got to check all of those concerns about the schools, all the concerns about the programming and, in the military, all of this woke stuff left and right. You have to put this to the side. I very seldom say it in those kind of terms. Say, you make up your own minds, this and that, and you're going to do that with this issue. But I'm urging you, especially the Christians that are listening right now. And I'm going to say this to you, and I'm going to say it about myself. If what happened in that nightclub does not break your heart, because one of your fellow human beings, 5 of them dead, that God loves just as much as he loves you or me. If you don't feel the sorrow inside you for those folks and their families, because I don't believe there's such things as strangers. I believe there's just brothers and sisters we haven't met yet. And in my heart, I feel like I lost some brothers and sisters that I will never meet. That happen to be gay, be lesbian, what have you. Because I know God loves them just as much as anybody. And if you don't feel that in your heart, some sorrow, some hurt inside your soul for these people, then I think you need to check your Christian credentials. You need to do a lot of soul searching on what it really means to be a Christian. The Christian community should stand up right now and express their love and for those people that lost their lives and their families and their hurt. Be able to compartmentalize the education issues over here. That doesn't mean you're not going to fight just as hard to keep CRT and all of this drag queen story hour opposition to that. I oppose that as well. But dadgum, we got to put that away and love on these people and express it and not be afraid to say it anywhere, whether it's at the dinner table, whether it's in a group out for dinner or whatever, or in church. So that's my thoughts on that. People ask me what about it. It's been a very it's been cause for me to go inward pretty darn deep, and that's my position on it. I hurt for these folks, and Guillermo, what's your thoughts on hogged a lot of time?
Well, what I think is interesting is how unfortunate we've grown accustomed to these mass shootings, and over 4 is a mass shooting, so I think 5 were killed. The other thing that I'm finally really content with, and this might sound horrible, is just that people know that, listen, America by and large is not racist, is not anti-LGBTQ plus. You have some really sick individuals in the world that hate a lot of people. You have people that hate Mexicans. You have people that hate white people. You have people that there's so much hatred in the world, and I'm just really happy to now know that the narrative isn't, oh my goodness, the world is against the LGBTQ plus people, because that's not by and large reflective of the American people. That I hope that's like less than 1%. That amount of hatred. It's a sick guy, a sick individual. It looks like maybe we can do things to make sure this doesn't happen again. I mean, the guy had a bomb threat. He wanted to kill his family. I think conservatives would all be, yeah, this guy doesn't deserve a gun. So there has to be some rationality. I also think it's kind of not ironic, but you notice how stuff doesn't get as much attention in the Biden administration that more than likely would have in the Trump administration. So, I mean, maybe that's the other thing. No one's focusing on this because, Biden is president. We, stuff like this, happens in America. But, I mean, if it's unfortunate that if someone else were in the White House, it would have been the occupant of the White House is making people do this. So I just want people to be cognizant of it. Another horrible tragedy that looks like it could have been prevented. We got to work on prevention, and just know that this isn't reflective of the majority of the American people.
I tell you, Jesus set a high bar. He set a very high bar, because I'd ask you to be honest with yourself. I'm being honest with myself, and that's not always easy when you peel back that onion of who you really are. And this horrifying tragedy, 5 innocent lives being killed, and maybe a couple of more.
Could have been a lot more.
A lot more.
Yeah.
Does that hit you as hard in your soul? Do you weight it as important and as horrific as you would a guy coming into a school and killing 5, 10 kids, or a bus full of church kids going off the side of the road and killing Christians? Jesus said we should. It should hurt just about. He says, the sun rises and sets on everyone. He didn't distinguish beliefs. We got to be honest ourselves. Does this affect us? The same. It should. And I had to be honest. I hurt when I heard this. I said, how awful. But to say that initially I felt the same way as that guy up in Las Vegas that opens up on these people at a country western concert. Why? Because I know a lot of those concerts. I listen to country music. I saw those cowboys with hats running around. They were listening to, there at the thing, and there's people that I knew kind of the demographic. And I'm sitting there going, how sick is that? How horrible. My heart sunk. Did I feel the same way about that Club Q?
Yeah.
And the answer is, I had to go, I felt, but not to the level that I did for that shooting in Las Vegas and a lot of other shootings. And I should. And I do now. I had to check in with God, and God convicted me. And sometimes, you're happy to have a radio show. Boy, you come, you can talk about things, have fun, talk about politics, this and that. Then the Lord says, by the way, yeah, you are right. It does matter the same to me. And by the way, you got a radio show, and you got to go say that to the world. And that's what I'm doing it today. Because I fell short initially, and I'm trying to play catch up with my soul. So to all of those folks, the families of those who lost their lives in that club, my deepest, deepest condolences, my love, and I wish you above all God's strength and love to get you through this very difficult time. And through it all, as in Colorado Springs and around the country, may this tragedy in some small way bring us not only closer together, but closer to God. We're going to take a quick break. Come back talking about, I'm not going to tease this. You don't tease thing about Satan.
Yeah.
He sent this to me last night. You're not going to believe this, folks. They're teaching Satan in our schools now. Yeah, surprise, surprise. This is Alan Autry, No Retreat on Turkey Tuesday. We'll be right back. Folks on social media, thank you for bearing with me. I don't get very articulate sometimes when I try to explain myself, and I'm not trying to be all self-effacing when I say that. I'm just being honest. But it is something that it really hit me hard. It's not that I didn't feel sadness. It was just disconcerting to me. God put in my heart, well, you feel as bad for them and the families as these other tragedies? And tough question to answer. A lot of people out there, yes, it did. And God bless you. A lot of Christians. And again, I don't want to, beat this point to death, but I think, God allows certain things to happen. This guy, I don't know if you saw the Army veteran that brought the guy down, pull him down. My goodness, wonderful human being. Just a real hero. And he said something. They asked him about his politics. He says, in the military, I was taught to serve whatever president was in the office at the time. And I did that because I love my country. And he said, and I still feel that way today. Who's ever our president, I'm going to respect. That's Trump, Biden, whomever comes in, I'm going to respect the presidency. Dad gum. What a hero, man. Hey, Jeremy, before we get into because you did a little research on that Satan After School program, right?
Yeah, I was reading it, right?
Okay. Let's do the, we'll go into that first, same thing. Then we're going to do the theme song deal. I think it kind of fits into what
Thanksgiving to go may be a better deal this year. Yeah, actually, look at some of the prices. It's better just to buy it.
Well, what else would you do? Who's going to give it to you free? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Was that in the
to go
the infrastructure bill? Everybody gets a free turkey every Thanksgiving. You know how many votes that would get him? Tons.
Oh yeah, yeah.
People like free
30
stuff.
seconds?
My family was sending me pictures because they're getting the groceries, and they're all over the board. You can get one for $54 to $80.
They're good. My wife always buys it.
Organic. Well, yeah, they're organic bird.
15
You
seconds?
really taste the difference, do you think, between an organic bird? Well, I don't eat meat.
Normally they don't taste as good.
The organic?
I'm just being honest with you.
Really?
Yeah. Organic
5
stuff
seconds?
usually doesn't taste as good as the stuff loaded with the junk.
Look at this one, $97 for this organic one. 97.
You're listening to the Alan Autry Show on the best talk in town. Talk Radio 1550 KXEX. Call Alan now. 559-899-1550.
And welcome back to Turkey Tuesday. As I said, you got two big turkeys sitting in here, one behind the mic. One's to my right. I was just looking at the monitor up there. 23% increase in the price of eggs.
Yep.
32% increase in the price of turkeys. They're just like those oil barons, hiking up the price, on Thanksgiving. And butter up 23. Everything's double digits.
Oh, it's expensive.
There's not a single digit inflation item out there.
But here's the question though: is it cheaper just to buy the whole meal done?
Probably.
And that's what they're saying. It's cheaper to do it that way.
Jeez. Pretty soon they're not even going to have a kitchen in the homes.
Yeah. Wow. Man, wasn't
that profound? What I just said there. That's pretty profound. Where do you put a kitchen? Just put an extra bedroom with a.
I am stunned.
No. All you need is one of those little air fryers.
Yeah.
Have you tried the air fryer?
No.
You will never microwave again if you try an air fryer. Oh, my son turned me onto this. Jeremy's giving a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Get rid of that microwave.
They're so expensive though.
No, they're not.
You gotta get but you want to get.
Well, think how much electricity you do heating up that oven.
Yeah,
that big old oven. Yeah, it's a lot of electricity.
I don't fry a lot of stuff.
And pretty soon you're gonna have to charge up your car. I'll be dead and gone by then, but you're gonna have to electricity on everything. So electricity can go through the roof.
Well, they're probably gonna make houses eventually without garages.
No, they have to put
less dependent on a car.
Well, but you gotta have a car.
Do you?
No, they have. Well, yeah, they're not gonna park it out front. They'll. But I tell you, they'll have. There was those. Where you plug it in will be in every home.
Yeah.
Kitchens are going to be much smaller. I agree. I don't know if this turnaround stuff is gonna happen. Wow, does that sound like a bomb go off?
Well, it sounded like someone fell
Did it
here in
fall?
Manchester. Hopefully they're all right.
Did they fall?
I don't know. We can't pick them up for a while. So
Well, now wait a minute. We got to have priorities. Jeremy went out there. We may
Yeah,
have to
Jeremy-
cut this short.
Jeremy's checking.
You know?
Jeremy's
Is everything
checking.
all right?
I don't know CPR.
Sound like somebody face planted.
You know
out there.
CPR?
Yeah.
You do? Okay, good.
Don't you pass out
We're covered.
because you're just going to have to. Me giving you CPR. Sorry, doctor said you're going to die.
Man,
Would you give me CPR if I passed out right here and started gasping?
do you know
would
CPR?
Would you put down
I'd
there
have to.
and start blowing into my mouth?
I'd probably put a piece of paper between mine and yours.
You have to keep your eyes closed, man. I'm going to insist on it.
Can I just empty out my water bottle and just put it in your...
When I come to, you'd know when I come to because my hand would come up there and that beautiful hair of yours. I would be coming.
Man.
Out and think you're Kim.
Oh my gosh! Don't. Poor Kim. Poor Kim's probably grossing
All
out
right,
right now.
for that stupid joke. How do we segue over to Satan from that?
Oh yeah. Well.
All right,
Death.
here it is. Guillermo's got this report. He texted this to me last night. I would say I can't believe this. This is so crazy. But after about 5 seconds, I went, no, par for the course. Share it with the folks.
All right. This is a little bit concerning. After school Satan Club coming to California Elementary School has parents in an uproar. After School Satan is the name of the club. After School Satan, an elementary school, and nonetheless, here in our backyard, an elementary school has approved an after-school Satan Club in California, and parents are upset. The club meets at selected public schools where good news clubs and other religious clubs meet. Golden Hills Elementary School in Kern County's Tehachapi approved the Satanic Temple and Reason Alliance sponsored program to begin on December 5th, and the parents are outraged.
Where is this happening?
Tehachapi in Kern County. However, this has happened all over the nation.
Isn't that up in the hills?
Yeah.
Oh, they do some strange things up in the hills, don't they?
Yeah, but up.
Now, that used to be where you'd find the snake handlers, but it was God, Christ, to keep the spirits away, keep Satan away.
Yeah. But there's more.
And the school is allowing them to do that on school property?
Yes. Now there's more to this story because if you visit their website and you do a little bit more digging, it looks like they're doing this in response to Christians doing this good news program, because this good news program apparently proselytizes. So I mean, they're giving
Satan worship is not a religion. I mean, it's a religion, but it's not a faith. Satan is the common denominator of all religions, things you don't want to be. Only insane people that are unworthy of having a child, by the way.
Yeah.
Anybody that would send their child to something like that,
and
you ought to lose your children. I'm totally serious. I'll stand by that. Any place, anytime, anywhere. And a school that would allow this, you should be held accountable as well. What in the world are you thinking? What is that? I can't see.
This is the logo, the after school logo.
All right,
so
on radio, you showed me the logo
the
here.
satanic.
Oh my God,
and
that's got to be a joke.
No, I mean this is real. I mean they have the. So this is the way they're they have a handbook and everything. So this is the way they're spinning it. They're saying that this club promotes self-education, realism, and it encourages students to think about the world in a more uplifting kind of way, because they're saying.
I never thought of human sacrifice that way.
But this is what they're saying. No, I'm
totally enlightened now.
But
they have the altar there chanting around as they drink the blood.
But they say they're not proselytizing, so they're not actually pushing kids towards Satan. What they're doing is they want the kids to think critically about life, because their whole thing is, when the Good News Club comes and the religious groups come, they're all doom and gloom. You got to live this way, you got to do it this way, you got to do it this way. So they're coming under the auspices of, hey, listen, we want the kids to think rationally. It's not all doom and gloom. And then you do more digging.
There's nothing. Go ahead.
You do more digging, and there are some. Now, these are just facts, okay? I'm giving facts. There are now LGBT groups that are praising the After School Satan Club, because it's making kids think that, hey, listen, it might not all be about God. Think about it rationally. Think about it in a sense of, you can be gay, you can be, and So what it is this club is trying to it sees religion in school, and they're trying to say, look, I think that's what they're trying to stop.
That's why it's child abuse. You talk about misinformation, disinformation. It doesn't matter whether you're gay, straight, trans, or whatever. Do a little research on Satan. He comes to do three things: lie, kill, and destroy. And he really doesn't care whether you're straight, gay, or trans. And he's not going to make a trans exception. He's not going to be a gay exception. Or you're exempted from my total mission to lie, kill, and destroy. So I'm going to lie to you. I'm going to destroy your walk with whatever's good in your life and eventually kill you, preferably a grisly, horrible, painful death. That's what Satan is all about. And I see it on TV shows. They got a show called Lucifer out there. And again, I knew, Alan, you're exaggerating. I said, listen, this stuff's dangerous stuff, because kids and people are watching, people are not kids, just people that are enamored or curious about Satan. And the message is that demons are just, they're just misunderstood angels. Once you get to know them.
And they have good-looking actors,
Good-looking actors. They're not as bad as you've heard about in that mean old Bible, these demons. And that's very, very dangerous. I just cannot believe Tehachapi would do that. And so you said there's a lot of folks pushing back on this.
Oh, yeah, the parents are. I was reading somewhere they had to shut down the Facebook comments because the parents were just, they were up in arms. But I want to make something very clear. Here's where we struggle.
Said like Leo Terrell. But
here's how we're going to struggle as conservatives with this. All right, because the group is horrible, right? I agree with that. I mean, the Satan Club. I think this group needs to go away very quickly. However, when you look at what they're doing, the schools, their hands are kind of tied, because if you allow one organization to come in, you have to be fair and equitable and allow another organization to come in. Well, the Supreme Court. Who says that? The Supreme Court. There was
the Constitution talks about God, principles under God. Doesn't mention any principles that need to be preserved for Satan.
This is very true.
So the Supreme Court has to consider that.
I have a feeling this is going to go right up to the Supremes eventually. But when you look at it from because law school does something to you, and it did it to me. You kind of you view things through a different lens. So even though they're a horrible group, I would have to side, unfortunately, based on constitutional law, based on precedent, that, listen, you can't, this group is horrible, but unfortunately, they deserve equal access to whatever.
To the facility.
To the facilities.
So United Pedophiles of America, otherwise known as UPA, should be allowed to have their after-school club meetings on campus.
No.
Why?
Because if they're registered pedophiles, they can't come within 100 feet of the school campus.
Well, no, they just say that's what they. No. They say they did. No, not saying that they participated. They just support pedophilia, and they would like to expand the message. They would like to make people know that those pedophiles are not what you really think. They're not really that bad. You can trust your kids with them. And what's one little sexual encounter between a grown man and a kid? Can a kid get past that? It's nothing to worry about. Well, how about that club?
I would have to say that goes to the health and safety of the child. So you could
what
deny
about the mental health of a Satan club? Are we talking mental health or just physical health?
It's different the way they've done something with this program to say, look, it's not about religion. It's about free thinking. It's about getting they've
idiot bought that argument?
Apparently, the school districts, and this isn't the only one. I mean, this is happening everywhere across the nation. So I think the Constitution also makes exemptions for obviously obscene, right? You can't unless you're Fresno, you can't put a Hollywood hustler in the middle of town. But never mind, bad example. You can't put an adult bookstore next to a school. So we do allow some exemptions. So I was saying your pedophilia example, I would say that wouldn't pass constitutional muster. This, however,
yes, but you're also saying that a clear connection between satanic policy, if you want to get into that, is anything goes, including pedophilia. So if you have something, a religion that says everything is acceptable, okay, which is what the satanic stuff is. That's where the devil came. You can do anything. That was the whole Garden of Eden. Mm-hmm. Don't live within the parameters of what God told you. Go ahead and eat from that tree. Do this, do that. That's the history and genesis of Satan. Do whatever you want, with whomever you want, whenever you want, and have no repercussions from it. It's a big lie. So it opens the tent to everything. And that's what you say. If you're a nation, you have to be a nation of laws, or you don't have a nation. You have to have a common thread of common sense. And if it did get to the Supreme Court, I hope this thing just goes away, but it's clear to me that if you define Satan, and you're going to have, where's the only definition of Satan? It's from the Bible and the Quran and the Jewish Bible, the Torah, and you go through those who have a singular source of evil called the devil, Satan, Lucifer, whatever. So you'd have to come up with a whole new definition of Satan, which you can't. That would be like pulling it out of your rear end. To me, this is absolutely vile. It makes no sense legally on any basis in this country.
Unfortunately, legally it passes because it's
like you went to law school or something.
Well, legally,
he did go to law school.
Unfortunately, it does. This is what they say.
He lived out one of my dreams.
This is let me tell you.
You did,
This is what they say on their website. After school Satan clubs focus on free inquiry and rationalism, the scientific basis for which we know what we know about the world around us. We prefer to give children an appreciation of natural wonders surrounding them.
Sounds like pedophilia to me.
Not a fear of everlasting otherworldly horrors. Education within the Association of Satanic Whatevers is an after-school program promoting self-directed education by supporting the intellectual and creative interests of students. Gobbledygloop is what that says.
Yeah.
Gobbledygloop, we're getting Satan in
saying
school.
hell's not that bad a place. Go ahead. The prices are pretty good down there. You can get a good condo.
It's always hot.
Over there, it never rains.
Yeah, and get a nice tan.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. I may have to go up to do they have open mic there?
I'm sure the next school board meeting is going to be
Let's take a camera up there. I want to go up there.
I think that'd be great.
Would you go with me?
I'd drive the car.
All right. We're going to do that. Find out when the next school board meeting is, and they're going to discuss that because, they're going to say, well, it's none of your business. Yeah, excuse me. When a school district loses its freaking mind, the reverberations go all over the country. You folks in Tehachapi who did this stupid, idiotic, child-abusing thing like allowing a Satan club, you ought to be tried of child abuse. You should be brought up on those charges. I'm not going to back off of that. In this confusing world for kids already, when they've had to go through a pandemic where everybody walking around looking like Hannibal Lecter, worried if they breathe on grandma, they're going to kill her, and all of this crutch and grown-ups go absolutely bat crap crazy around them for a year and a half. Don't let them go to school. For many of them, the only reprieve from all of this craziness, you shut down the schools. I know. I work with these kids. My team works with these kids. Yeah. And then you want to have, let's make them feel a little bit better. We need to help them psychologically. Let's put a Satan club on campus. That'll calm them down. That'll clear their mind up. That'll make them feel better. What kind of acid are you on?
Can I offer just a recommendation?
Anything that can untrigger me right now, I'm open to.
And this would also be applicable to the flagpole example. All right, listen, schools should not open their doors for any organization.
Let me go ahead.
Even religious organizations.
I'm jumping out of my skin to say something. I want to hear you out because you have a law degree.
I would say,
and I'm not belittling that either. I'm saying that so sincerely. I admire that greatly.
I would say you don't have religious institutions being favored. You don't have to have any. These are school campuses paid with taxpayer money. Churches are springing up everywhere. You don't allow any groups or any organizations. If it doesn't have to do with ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and just educating the student, and I get it. I get it, though. But I would say just because then you run into situations like this.
Okay. You're breaking. I hear you. You make a good legal argument, and I do mean that. I wanted to go to law school. I'm really jealous because I saw myself as, hey, this defender, pulling the old Matlock thing, But, it takes a lot of work. I know that to get that. I mean, that's not an easy trek, and you use it quite well on things like this. But what a great issue. We just talked about, just hit me. Christians and the LGBTQ community coming together around this issue, because I'm going to make this proposition. And it's not, there's a difference between knowledge and information. Knowledge means you have a verified belief. You can believe things and not have knowledge because it's not real. It's not true. Knowledge and information in your head that you can regurgitate is not the same. Knowledge has to be some verifiable beliefs that you have some evidence. Okay. So from the people I know in the LGBTQ community, I think I have knowledge on this, a verifiable, valid belief. And I'm going to put a number on this. I would venture to say over 90% of the LGBTQ community would be totally, completely, and passionately against a Satan club at a school. They would say that is just as outrageous to us. Who do you think we are? We love God too. We may think differently about the Bible and God, a loving God, rather than a praising Satan. You think that's what the LGBT? And I think there's a lot of misinformation out there about that community.
Oh yeah.
I think they would be partner going, let's go sick 'em, man.
Yep.
Let's go. Even though your pastor says that, my gay lifestyle is going to be bad for me. And I agree with you on this. Let's leave that over there for now. Because I'm side by side with you about these kids being taught Satan is good and thinking that that's going to please the lesbians, the gays, the trans, that Caitlyn Jenner is going to like me now better because I'm a Satan worshiper. When I know she would be absolutely against it.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And this is let me give you some insider baseball here.
Yeah. Make me smarter.
And I don't know if
I'm smarter.
I don't know if I'm allowed.
It'd be a Twilight Zone episode. Make me smarter. Then Sterling comes out.
Well,
I suddenly am smart for a day.
There's what the
and then you have my brain. Try that, man.
You know what the log cabin Republicans are?
Yes, I know the log cabin Republicans.
I don't know what they were. Did I tell you my story about the log cabin Republicans?
No, what did you say?
I was at the local GOP meeting, right? Not the local, but
what
the
did you do?
the statewide party.
What
and
did
I was
you
looking,
step in?
I was looking at the program, right?
Yeah.
And it said log cabin Republicans.
Yeah, Lincoln.
Log cabin Republicans.
Like the Lincoln
and
Club.
I was like, oh man, there's gonna be like burly men in there. We're gonna be drinking, log cabin, right? You know, chopping down. I thought these were like the Placer. Was it Placer
but they're
County?
Staunch conservatives.
It was the gay Republicans.
Yeah, gay Republicans, but staunch fiscal conservatives.
Yeah, and and let me just give you the backstory.
Yeah.
So they're trying to start a log cabin group here in Fresno. You know that? And I have it on good authority that someone in the meeting said, "Hey, listen, I'm not here to make Republicans gay. I'm here to make gay Republicans." And and it was like, whoa,
get you perspective.
And he said, look,
different perspective.
My choice of who I want to love, God will judge me.
Yes,
when I meet him.
Yeah, that's
and
my
I
position.
say, you know what?
That is my position. Do I wish that they would? Or,
I would,
whatever.
Yeah, of course.
But that's not going to affect my relationship with them.
Exactly.
And that's between you and God. My straight friend who's an adulterer. Oh, I can get past that.
Oh,
that sin's not as bad as this gay person over here, right?
Preach it.
You get all right. He gets the pass in it because God, God grades the grace on the curve. Yeah, right.
Preach it.
Real quick. I think a lot of this has to do with how people are raised, and there's just a lot of darkness in the world.
I think I say it has to do with Hunter Biden.
We're not going to get to that. We're going to have to do that after Thanksgiving. But I'm thinking about, I grew up in a home where the sights, the sounds were always, there was just more optimism. And, TV was a big thing. And media is a big thing. TV is a big thing now with all the cable channels. And you see all of this dark stuff that even goes in like theme song, tells you right off the bat, this is going to be horrible. Mm-hmm. For example, here's the theme song from a really hit show called Stranger Things. Play a little bit of that. Here's Stranger Things. Listen. Imagine a kid walking around. Oh, mommy, hurry, Stranger Things on. Listen to that music. Now, okay, cut it. Now and
then they wonder why they
can't. Here's kind of flip side what I grew up with. Okay, another one. Let's do another one.
That's
good.
Okay,
here's the top hit show on television, all television on cable. Yellowstone, about a rancher, out in Yellowstone Park with a family, America. Here's the theme song. Little more subtle, but listen to it. You got some rope with a noose. I think I want to hang myself
It's
right now.
pretty depressing.
Listen to that.
Yeah. You got a good point.
That's the top song. That's in American homes. People rush home to hear. Well, that makes me joyful. Now,
That's a good point.
here's what again, here's back in my day, a rancher with a family, rich guy. Here's what I grew up listening to. No. But the other one. Pause.
No, this is it.
Okay. Listen to that. Don't you feel better already? Listen to that.
Yeah.
Dad burned it, Paul. Little Joe just pulled another trick on me. Brother Yellowstone. Hey, where do we bury the body?
Take it to the
And
train
that's the
station.
star. That's Kevin Costner's character.
Yeah.
Go bury the body out. Okay.
This
You
is
see-
it's such a good point.
Huh?
And then we wonder why society's going to pot.
You wonder why I can't relate? Yeah, just to the Satan Club.
Yeah.
How do we get from that
That's such a good point.
to a Satan Club after school?
Yellowstone is
Or
good,
us
though.
boomers don't. I watch it,
It's a great show.
but can we have a little balance?
Yeah.
It's all creepy.
It's
There's
true.
there's always a twist. You want to? I guarantee if Bonanza was now, they made Bonanza now. I mean, Haas would have been this lovable guy, and then one episode you'll find that he just, he strangles some dude to death in a fit of rage, and the family has to protect him, so they keep it, from the cops.
Yep.
It's just, or little Joe walks out naked. I mean,
I was
they
thinking
would have done something to, what's the other thing?
you know what?
Oh,
came-
good. Tell me this. We just got a few minutes. I need to know this. You may not be able to answer it. Jeremy may not be able to answer it. Yours, listeners, may. What in the world is with this Taylor Swift mania? I've never heard one of her songs.
Oh,
I heard the name.
never?
Even when she was a country artist. She broke the internet. She broke Ticketmaster. They said they haven't seen this kind of ticket demand since, are you ready for this, boomers? The Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
Garth Brooks, Bruce Springsteen, the Stones. Taylor Swift is crushing them all. Everybody, their tickets going for $11,000 and to $14,000. Have you listened to her music?
I have.
Do you like it?
I disagree with her as an individual and her politics because she's very left leaning. So I disagree with Taylor Swift 100%. She also can't keep a relationship, which is in her
What does that have to do with her music?
That's all her music is.
Okay, she
it's-
talks about her.
It is.
Okay.
It's about young girls that that damn guy. He did it again. It's all
but
breakup.
Guillermo, I saw the article, and it has to be true. It's not confined to just young girls. Women and men of all ages
Oh,
are listening to this
it's good.
this singer.
She makes good music. I'm not gonna say she doesn't. But at the same time, it's kind of odd
How can I have my head so far in a hole
you got it.
that I had no idea she was remotely this popular?
Oh, she's big. She's big, but it's kind
So
of.
my daughter's got a signed guitar from her.
That's
And
awesome.
she signed way back when she was just starting out.
You better put that in a safe.
Yeah.
You better put that in a safe.
You think that'd be
and-
worth something?
Just a little bit.
It was right when she was starting out. We bought it at a fundraiser.
Give it to me. I
You get
will.
it? You get it?
I'll get it authentic.
All right.
I'll take it to the pawn shop
All
next
right.
time I'm in Vegas. We'll
You're
get
right.
it. We'll get a good deal.
You got-
But here's the interesting thing. You just finished a segment on music and how it makes people feel, right?
An unintended segue.
Yes.
Okay.
Taylor Swift's music
And you just mentioned it.
is really kind of weird because
Broken
it
relationships.
talks about broken relationships. It talks about
It's not like My Three Sons
Yes.
talking about great families that don't break up. Ozzy and Harriet,
no.
the Cartwrights.
She's got songs that called "Better Than Revenge." When you look at the
I
words,
said, I hope my wife doesn't listen to that.
no, not that song, at least
Okay.
not that song.
Oh my goodness.
But it talks about young women that are traumatized out of their relationship that they come in. I haven't listened to the whole new album that she just put out, but I wouldn't want my daughters listening to Taylor Swift
Really?
nonstop. It's just it's
Well, is there profanity in there? Or
There's
is,
no
is it
profanity.
just
there's no profanity, but
it's about brokenness being
it's
spewed
about
out.
relationships. Young girls need to be focused about becoming doctors.
Well, you know
and
who
lawyers.
did that and was the most popular of his time? Huge was Hank Williams. Hank Williams talked about broken hearts with his wife, Autry. Your cheating heart. Why can't I melt your cold, cold heart? You just go on. I'm so lonesome I could cry.
Yeah.
It was constant ballad after ballad. And this was back in the 40s, and he was the by far top country singer. People like to know, I guess they have shared misery, huh?
Maybe you're right. I don't know.
Know that somebody's gone through what they're going through.
Maybe you and I should write a song.
But then you need to, there's none of that, but then you need a little Bee Gees.
You need some re-uplifting.
You need to have something.
Yes.
Jeremy, Jeremy can't answer this. Is there any singer out there, young singing group, that has like joyful music? Not the raps, because they joyful, then they mess it up with all the.
I don't know. Does K-pop do positive? I don't know. No.
Well, we have to start doing that here at KAXES, doing happy songs. Well, we just did, folks. We'll be back on air when, boss?
Next Monday.
Monday. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Go ahead.
Happy Thanksgiving. You're a part of our family. We're so thankful.
Absolutely.
So thankful.
Absolutely. Second that emotion, and just remember, do your best. Let God do the rest. Happy Thanksgiving to y'all. Bye-bye now.